You know, every great work, every big idea, it always starts with a question. But have you ever wondered why some of those questions lead to things that last for generations, while others just fizzle out? That's really the mystery at the heart of the book Framework. It dives into the profound questions that can make or break our creations. So let's follow that journey together, from the very first question to the final design.
Okay, so the author kicks things off with something we've all seen, right? Someone pours their entire heart, all their energy into a project, only to watch it fall apart. Why does that happen? What's the real difference between something that stands the test of time and something that feels like it's turning to dust before it's even finished? Then we zoom out a bit. Think about leadership, but on a huge scale. How is it that some leaders can create a positive impact that shapes entire nations, while others, who are probably working just as hard, just burn out? Their efforts just don't seem to add up. It can't just be about hard work, can it? And this brings us to the biggest question of them all. This is about the systems we build, our organizations, our cultures, even our families. You could have the most sincere, well-meaning people in charge, but some systems just thrive and grow while others seem to rot from the inside out. There has to be some kind of invisible force at play here. So after wrestling with these massive questions, the author went looking for answers in some pretty different places. We're talking scripture, science, and even design principles. And you know what's wild? Out of all that complexity, this one single unifying thread started to appear, connecting everything. And that thread leads us right here, to the first big idea, the unifying pattern. The argument is that the answer to all those why questions isn't complicated. It actually lies in a single universal truth, an underlying blueprint that governs how things are meant to be built and sustained. And here it is, the core idea. It's that simple and that profound. Nothing is an accident. Everything, from a galaxy down to a single cell, is built according to an intentional design, a framework. This totally challenges the whole idea that things are just random. This whole concept really boils down to two fundamental principles. First, if nothing is random, then everything has purpose and intention behind it. And second, if that's true, then for anything to last, it has to have a structure that honors that original intention. Without that solid design, it's just going to fall apart. But hold on, because here's where it gets really interesting. That framework, the structure you can actually see, that's only half the picture. The author found that what's really holding it all together is something deeper, an invisible force. Think of it like the hidden foundation of a massive bridge. So what is this hidden force? Well, it's called the architecture of creation. And to really get it, we have to take a word we all think we know and look at it in a completely new way. That word is righteousness. Now, in this context, righteousness isn't about being a morally perfect person. Forget that for a second. Think of it more like a principle of physics or architecture. It's the force that comes from being in perfect alignment with God's original blueprint. It's what gives any system its strength and integrity. And this is a huge shift in thinking. Most of us see righteousness as, just doing the right thing. It's a behavior. But here it's reframed as the internal architecture itself. It's not just about what you do, it's about being built correctly and lined up with the original design. This quote just nails it. Righteousness, seen this way, is the precision that stops things from being chaotic. It's the calibration that keeps you on the right path. And it's the integrity, that structural soundness, that allows anything to really, truly thrive. It's an active, powerful force. Okay, so once you start to see righteousness as this architectural force, it completely changes how you approach, everything. It makes you shift your focus away from just trying harder, from pure effort, to something way more important, alignment. And this is the absolute bottom line. We can work ourselves to the bone, right? But if what we're building is out of sync with the underlying design, it's not going to work. It's the alignment, the harmony with the original pattern that gets blessed and allows things to flourish. So what we have here isn't a bunch of strict rules. It's more like an invitation to build in a totally new way. And it's a logical path, right? First, you decide to work within God's system. Then, you learn and follow His blueprint. From there, you embrace the structural integrity of His design, His righteousness, and that finally lets you build in a way that actually works. So what's the whole point of understanding all this? Well, it's a call to action.
It's an invitation for us to stop seeing ourselves as just laborers, just following orders, and to start seeing ourselves as true architects of our own lives, our families, and our work.
The goal here is so much bigger than just sharing an idea. It's about giving you a practical toolkit, a new lens to see the design that's all around you, a new language to talk about it, and a real functional blueprint to actually guide what you build. Ultimately, this is all about empowerment. It's about waking up that architect that's already inside you and giving you the internal schematics to build things that don't just succeed, but are sound, meaningful, and built to last because they have real precision and purpose. I just love this thought. Inspiration, it comes and goes. But an architect? That's someone who understands the fundamental principles of how to build something that will stand. The world has plenty of dreamers. What it really needs are people who know how to turn a vision into a stable, flourishing reality. And it all comes full circle, right back to this one idea. Righteousness, when you understand it as alignment with the divine design, isn't just some nice moral suggestion. It is the non-negotiable, concrete foundation for anything you hope to build that will truly, actually last.
And so that leaves all of us with a pretty vital question to think about. In your own life, your work, your relationships, what is the foundation you're really building on? Is it just your own effort and good intentions? Or is it built on true alignment?